In today's video, we look at the 7 different strategies for decision making, aligning you with yours based on your personal rhythm. Having to choose between door A, door B, and door C can be an uncomfortable place to be. Not wanting to make the wrong decision or fearing a choice being taken away can result in selection anxiety and impulsiveness. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, so they say. And whilst there's great reflective experience in knowing something after the fact that it's happened, it's still more desirable to be equipped with the ability to make the correct decision in the first place. Aside from there never really being a wrong choice because everything serves a purpose, each of us have a natural way of making the best choice, and knowing yours can be life-changing. I'm Charlie, and this is the Cosmic Edge. This channel explores a variety of ancient, scientific and spiritual practices, translating them for use in your modern day world. Quantum physics, law of attraction, differentiation, all of these systems come together to help us understand ourselves better. There's no need to believe in anything. Simply experimenting with these tips relieves you from having to trust in what you're told and allows you to try it out for validity. The decision-making process can be rattling. Am I making the right choice? What if I choose wrong? I'm not ready to choose, but I don't want to lose the opportunity. It can be exhausting navigating forward when life moves in anything but a straight line. It can be hard to see around the corners and bends ahead. Though we do know that true freedom is the ability to make decisions that affect your life direction. And each of us have an inner authority that help us make decisions that are individually correct. The right choice for one person may be the wrong choice for another, reminding us that decisions are so very personal and that of course we won't all make them the same way. Seeking approval outside of ourselves is an external form of authority. So today we're looking at how to tap into your inner authority. Universally, we all think that decisions are best made with the mind. Your brain will often think that it knows exactly what is best for you, making itself an authority, trying to maintain control. But it's our body that are the antennas, sending sensory input to the brain for processing. So really the brain is the last to know. So it really should be the last thing influencing our choices. Your personal decision-making method is based on where in your energetic system you hold the most strength and consistency. We're all powerful in different points of human expression. Some people are vocally powerful, emotionally powerful, inspirationally powerful, will powerful. Again, bringing us back to individuality, differentiation, and the fact that no two processes are the same. So to find out the strongest part of your energetic composition, leading us to your correct decision-making ability, you will need a body graph to reference. Visit any one of these sites to generate your chart: jovianarchive.com, humandesignamerica.com, or mybodygraph.com. My personal favorite is Jovian Archive. I don't really have a reason why. It may be because it was the first chart that I ever started working with. But take the time to investigate all 3 if you need to. Choose whichever one looks and feels best for you. Once you've filled in your details, date of birth, time of birth, and location of birth, you should have a chart that looks like this.
It's me!
This info, your personal birth information, is literally the most unique piece of information about you. The very second and moment that you are born is yours. We each celebrate it every year, so can't deny that it's special. It holds so much information about your life. I believe I read that it was Nepalese. Is it Nepalesian? I read that it was a tradition in Nepal? It was tradition in some cultures to be gifted a birth chart upon birth of your new child. You don't have to believe in anything other than the fact that you were born on this day at this time. The rest is about experimenting and trying out these tips and methods to see how they actually work for you. And to do that with today's video, you need to identify your inner authority. On the chart you just made, you will find a section at the top. Checking out specifically the part that says authority, you will find one of the 7 following titles: emotional, sacral, splenic, ego, self-projected, none, or lunar. This describes your inner authority type, your best decision-making process. Below are the timestamps for each type. Don't forget to share this video so that others can feel comfortable with their process too. Now, if this chart has you intrigued, then I will link to another video I have that talks about your type and the success tips based on that. Master making decisions as yourself and watch life feel even more amazing. If your authority type is emotional, then this section is for you. Having this decision-making authority means that you are naturally an emotional person, however that looks in your experience. With feelings that go up and down from day to day, your wave of emotion goes from excitement and euphoria to low energy and bummed out. Means that decision making for you needs time to process through that spectrum of feeling. Your intelligence is in your emotional experiences of everything it is that you do. Making a decision quick can often result in the least desirable outcome. Just think back to when you made a decision on a whim and it didn't turn out how you had hoped. That's because you find so much clarity in feeling every possible way there is to feel about something. You really need to allow yourself to process through a variety of feelings. Helps you make a well-rounded and clear decision. The key here is waiting for clarity. So if you feel particularly energized in either direction on a choice that you're making, then now isn't the time to make the choice. You need to wait. And the period of time it takes to feel all these different ways differs from person to person. It could be anywhere from 1 day to 6 days. However, it's so important to experience all of those perspectives in order to know how you really feel about it. Some key indicators that you are not ready to make a decision are nervousness, hyper-euphoria, or all-around sadness. Decision making is so different for you from everybody else. This 100% certainty that everybody seems to be reaching is never attainable for you. So it helps to understand that 80% is your version of 100%. What I mean by that is if you 8 out of 10 want to do something after a couple of days of contemplation, then that is your version of 10 out of 10. So long as you have given a minimum of 1 day, anywhere up to 6 days, this is the age-old sleep on it, then you can be sure that you're not suppressing or ignoring your true feelings and jumping into something that later on you wish you hadn't. Pushing away a decision and waiting for the correct answer on it is always going to be worth it. If the situation is meant for you in the first place, it will still be there to decide on. Try and avoid the fear of loss of a decision. If it's not meant for you, then it leaves your experience in some way or another. You probably don't want it anyway. And trust that even time won't take away the most awesome of opportunities. It helps to remember that for you, this really applies to big decisions, not necessarily about processing through a spectrum of feelings on deciding what to have for dinner, whether to have a shower, deciding which bills to pay first. There are certain things that present themselves as necessary and kind of automatic in life: eating, breathing, sleeping, working, paying bills, existing. This is for those big decisions, the moving, job changes, career changes, children, marriage, all of those really big, life-changing, juicy decisions. So if you have an emotional authority, practice when it comes to decision making on waiting to feel happy, sad, and then essentially indifferent to whatever it is you're about to decide on, because the decision you make at the point of indifference is going to be the best one. Enjoy and embrace your emotional oscillation. It is so intelligent. And let me know in the comments below how it feels to be freed of making instantaneous decisions. If your inner authority is sacral, then this is the section for you. This is, in my opinion, the most traditional decision-making method. Modern day, we call it the gut instinct. The sacral is the point of digestion. It's the stomach. So this yes or no feeling is going to originate from the core of your body. The mind might say, yeah, go ahead, just do it. But it doesn't actually always have awareness of the physical capacity that your body holds in any moment. The gut instinct, the point of digestion of food, therefore where our power comes from, knows how much power it does or doesn't have. And that's important when making a decision, because committing to something and halfway through having to bail because the energy just isn't there doesn't feel good. So mastering this authority means you listen to the feeling, which is an interesting concept, that originates from the pit of your stomach. The feeling is going to respond best to yes or no questions. You can kind of get used to talking to yourself out loud with this type of authority. Do I want pizza? Shall I take a sweater? Do I want to go to the gym? Shall I take that overtime at work? Shall I go to bed now? Strange examples, there are so many more, but the point is asking yourself out loud allows your body something to immediately respond to. You're going to know what a yes is. It's going to be that feeling of goosebumps and excitement or commitment. A no is going to feel a bit like uncertainty in the body. The thing about this authority type is it should be applied to a fault. Unapologetically following this instinct will have you always in the right place at the right time. And the key to mastering this is keep the questions simple and uncomplicated, and the body will do the same in return with the answers. There is no period of wait necessary. You carve your best life when applying this instinct to absolutely everything. I have this instinct. I've experimented with putting this to things like, what am I going to wear? Practice makes perfect, and there are some decisions that hold more weight in your life than others. Getting used to listening to this yes or no answer that comes from the body through decisions that are less intense, such as what am I going to wear, can really help you trust yourself and identify whatever it is the body is actually saying, especially as the mind and body can at times contradict one another. Again, think back to a time when you've committed to something only to wear out too quickly or to hate it halfway through. Trusting your gut instinct, your sacral authority, no matter what the mind says, is key. You can train this. It is similar to a muscle. There is an exercise available in the video I'm posting the link to here that explains a sacral building exercise in the section named generators. So head on over there to find out more on how to develop this ability. Let me know in the comments below how this resonates, or of any times that you have or have not followed that instinct and it did or did not pay off. Confirming that all you need to do is trust your body. If your authority is splenic, then this section is for you. Your decision-making process is based on whether you feel fear or excitement in the now. Learning to stay present and listening to what your body does when presented with a choice is the key with a splenic decision-making process. One of the things to realize about the nature of this decision-making type is that it's here to save you. The spleen's function is to support the immune system, thus keeping you alive. So when you're following its insights and intuition in decision-making, all of the responses are based on survival. Instead of what you could or couldn't do, this is about what you should or shouldn't do, which is powerful. The intuition that presents itself here is short-lived due to the transitory nature of survival and the process of evolution, meaning that what it is to survive and thrive continually changes moment to moment, as do your responses. The first response that you get with a splenic decision-making authority is the one to take because it is accurate in that moment. The way this speaks to you is through fear or excitement. So learning to discern between the two, fear being something that feels low and dropping in the body, excitement feeling like a rise in the body. It helps to know the difference between genuine fear and nervous excitement, but never try to figure that out with the mind. In this situation, it's important for you to act first and think later. Avoid trying to rationalize or deconstruct a decision before going through with it. You can reflect on the situation after, but in the very moment, you should be listening to your body's instincts and yielding to the fear by getting out of the situation or following through with something due to the nervous excitement of the unknown. Your body knows something that your mind doesn't. So contrary to what you may have been taught, it's okay to act first and think later. As long as you know the difference between the feeling of fear and excitement, this won't let you down. If your inner authority says ego, then this section is for you. This decision-making process is a powerful one. It's a position of, if you want it to happen, you can make it happen. So choosing becomes less about the right or wrong decision and more about a choice of resonance. When a situation wants a yes from you, it's a pulling feeling towards it, meaning that this is an activity you should go ahead with. If it's a no, it will feel like being pulled away from the situation. Your life requires you to get the ball rolling. So usually these decisions are matters of the heart and desire, and talking it out with people around you will help you decipher the pulling to or pulling away dynamic that's going on to let you know which decision to make. And there's your answer. If your authority is self-projected, then this section is for you. This authority is all about a deep inner knowing, a kind of knowing that other people can't know, and you have no way of explaining. Learning to trust this feeling of being the only person that really gets it allows you to make decisions using your own perspective, filtered through others. Talking things through with others allows you to hear yourself as you present your decision and reasoning. As you listen to yourself talk, you'll hear strength and power in your voice, or stumbling and uncertainty in the way you are delivering that option. If you've ever heard yourself out loud and been surprised at how you feel about what you say, that's the perfect example of this. Don't be surprised, just be receptive to how you sound discussing these matters. And what will happen is suddenly you'll just know. If your inner authority says none, then this section is for you. This authority is similar to self-projected authority in that it helps for you to have a soundboard to bounce things off of. You are super vulnerable to everything around you. It's that vulnerability that allows you to be intuitive and current, moving through whatever is developing in your life. It is this sensitivity that also allows you to take action in a changeable way. By talking things through with others, you gain alternative perspectives. So the more people you bounce your options off of, the more variety of viewpoint that you get. When it comes to the right action, you'll know. But the main point of this is to talk it through with as many people as possible, to fall upon the right decision, or alternatively, create the right one based on various pieces you've picked up from everybody. This section is for you if your authority says LUNAR. This decision-making process is fascinating. It is one of the longest, and because of that, probably a little bit more difficult. Because of no inbuilt perspective, your decisions are best made over a longer period of time, specifically 28 days. You need to assess how you feel over a period of time, because time is what allows you to monitor your energy and vitality for something. While you're waiting for clarity over time, discuss your options with people. You create a response that passes the test of time by occasionally and repeatedly talking through this situation with others. Due to the nature of this being such a long waiting time for decision making, this really only applies to the big things. House moves, job changes, marriage, a bunch of the big decisions in life need to be processed in this manner. Regular decisions like going to work, eating, or going for a walk don't need the 28-day waiting period, but when it comes to the big stuff, time is your ally. As you process through various courses of action and allow the best one to stick with you over time. Let me know in the comments below how it feels to experiment with your method, and don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date on all the cool things we will be discussing here on this channel. Why do I keep doing the pat thing?